Hello, it's me again, Alan Morrison, the Hairy Harper. This little clip is for everybody who was kind enough to like my previous posting about the Cardboard Chord Computer and to drop me an email, hairyharper@gmail.com, and ask for the pattern. I promised them I would post a clip showing how I assemble the thing, so here it is. First of all, you need to print the pattern on an A4 sized sheet of either card or photo paper. Paper thickness is given on the pack in terms of grams per square metre, and anywhere around about 250 will do just fine. This is the stuff I use. You may be able to make out that it's 240 grams a square metre, which is well within the sort of weight or thickness that you need, and it's size A4. So in your printer dialog box you need to select A4 size paper, and if there's an image size option, select fit on page. What you then get out of the printer looks like this. Just 4 discs, about the size of a compact disc or digital video disc. The first job then is to cut out the 4 discs, which gives you this kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. You also need a selection of tools, and for the way I put it together I've tried to stick to things which most people should find fairly readily to hand, either in a stationery cupboard or possibly a school art department. First of all, and most importantly, a cutting board, because if you do this directly onto a table or a worktop you will not be popular with your other half. Next, either a craft knife or a thing for opening packing cases, boxes, or possibly a scalpel. Something like that. In either case you need a good sharp blade. Next, a stapler. And finally, but importantly, a drawing pin, which my English-American dictionary informs me is also called a thumbtack. Let's begin then. The first thing I do, you could use the drawing pin for this, but this craft knife thing also functions as a pin chuck. As accurately as possible, poke a little hole in the centre of each black dot in the middle of the discs. This is going to help line everything up during assembly, because what we can do is just stack the discs onto the drawing pin stroke thumbtack, and it will keep everything in line while we do the stapling. It'll hold them like so. The next job is to take just the 2 large discs, stack them onto the drawing pin to keep them in register, staple them together. Keep the staples round the outside so that when you spin this thing round they don't gouge grooves in the smaller discs. And 3 or 4 will do. 1, 2, 3. That will make the thing a little bit more rigid and help to make it last longer. The other thing we need to do is to put a couple of staples right near the centre, but without blocking the pinhole. You'll see why this happens in a minute. There we are. So we can now remove the pin and those discs will stay nicely lined up. At this point, the other thing you could really do to see to is that the ends of the staples may not be flat down to the paper, so it's worth giving them a tap down with the back end of the craft knife, and then when we staple the whole lot together we don't get wrinkles in the smaller discs. Right. Now then, you'll have noticed on the finished article that it's stapled together in the middle here to hold the two smaller discs back to back. Now if we do that at this stage you won't be able to spin the larger discs in the middle, which is the whole point of the thing. You would need to be able to do that. So at this point we need to take the large disc and cut as accurately as possible round the small circle in the middle. I'll stop the camera while I do that, but try to do it as accurately as you can, because the smooth operation of the finished article depends on that being as near a perfect circle as you can manage. So, having done that, what we end up with is a little hub and a rotor which can sit on it and spin round. We're ready now to do the final assembly. Take the drawing pin and stack the discs on it, a small one face down, then the hub, with the rotor running on it, and finally the other small disc face up. So you've now got the whole thing ready to staple together. You may want to line up the red arrows front and back, but it really doesn't matter whether you do. And the final staples go through this circle in the centre, so that they trap the hub but not the rotor. Okay, we've got everything stacked on the drawing pin so that it's held nicely in line, and we just bang a few staples just inside the central ring. And that's it. It's all in one piece now, so we can remove the drawing pin and make sure that it rotates. If you find it's a little bit stiff at first, it will wear in and become smoother after a few resolutions. But that's the way I put it together, because it doesn't involve any tools that you might have to make a special shopping trip for. You should be able to find everything fairly easily. Right, thanks. Well, I hope this thing helps you in your harping endeavours. That is the Cardboard Chord Computer.